Today we're going to look at one of those sought after Philips CD650 with the fancy DAC in it that everybody's after. A lot of people are after. Audiophiles are after, okay, because it's one of the better sounding of the 16-bit DACs I think probably ever made. They're quite scarce, quite sought after these days, and I have one here today. Here I have an old Philips CD650. Seems to be hanging up a bit on the tray, and sometimes it doesn't open. Of course, now it's going to open. There, sticks. It was sticking. Every time I tried to open it, it was sticking. I turn on the camera and it decides it's going to open. Let's see if it'll play. It read the disc. It plays. Now it's opening. I don't know what to say. It wasn't opening before. It was not opening before. Let's just take the top off it and see whether it's something sticking inside. Okay, screws are out. Here's a look in the top of this one. What was happening was when it would jam, if I just tapped the lid here, if I just went, it would open. And it wasn't a torque problem, because there's plenty of torque. Something was sticking on here, and now it's not. Interesting. I don't know what to say on this one. It definitely was not opening when I first put this thing up and plugged it in. Oh well, that's $100 repair. Oh, this is actually my machine, so I guess I'd have to charge myself $100 for that. And I wouldn't have brought it out here if it was working. It's one of my many systems. Kind of a neat machine because it's got a keyboard over here. So you can program in, search by track, index, or by time. And of course you could pick a track directly. This one used the rocker arm type of CD pickup that Philips was famous for. One of my favorite pickups. It's a single beam system. If we do this, we can open this up. So there's the laser pickup on this one. It's a linear motor which just operates it on a hinge, and the whole pickup just goes back and forth. Very simple. Nothing really to break on this. Uses a BSL type direct drive spindle motor. These ones never fail as well. These are very reliable machines, and actually quite sought after because of the DA converter on these. They have a very good DA converter. Just put this thing back together. This just slides in and under like that. I just want to see if there's anything hanging up as I move this through the motions by hand. Well, if something was sticking, it's certainly not now. Some of the places that you need to lubricate on these, you need to grease these rails back here, so it might be just a bit of grease is drying up. So let's get some grease on the rails here for starters. We'll do that on it because it could have been just some of this grease dried up, and after trying it a few times it freed itself up. I'm using Molykote PG641, so stop asking, because I tell you guys every time I use it I show it, and I get people asking me what type of grease it is. That's because they skip with the fast forward button and miss the part where I show the grease and then ask it in the comments. PG641 Molykote. Don't ask me where you can get it. This stuff came as replacement grease with Mitsubishi pinch rollers for their Super VHS and VHS machines of the day. A package of this came with every replacement pinch roller, and I've got I think I've got 3 packages left, and then I will be out of it, and then I will be looking for it. But at this point I don't know where to get it, so don't ask. I haven't had to buy any. I've never had to buy any of this stuff. All the grease you see me use is stuff that I collected in the years that I was in the business. So I'm just going to put some grease on the surfaces that slide back and forth here on this mechanism. We don't need much. Doesn't need much grease at all. If we look under here, we can see the DA converter on this one. Take out this bracket. We should unplug. So it's the TDA1541. These ones have. There's the DA converter here. You notice on this one it's socketed, which was something that they didn't do on some of their machines, as they didn't socket them, which made replacement difficult. But this one's a socketed chip, and this is one of the reasons why CD players of this particular design are quite desirable, because it's a very smooth sounding DA converter on these units. It's not oversampled or anything. It's analog filtered, and this one's actually got 2 sets of analog filters on it. There's 2 outputs. One here that only passes through 1 filter, and then there's a secondary filter over here, which smooths the output even more. Trying to achieve that analog sound, right? This was because the very first generation, the first Philips I had, I forget the number, was it a 101 or something? It had the top lifted up. It was a top loader. It was a little silver one. CD101, I think, 101A. Plugged back in. It had a very harsh sound. Still use the same TDA1541 on it, but this one here they've added additional filtering just to take out some of that harshness and make these ones sound really smooth. But nice thing about these units is that they do support CDRs, at least these ones. And they have a really nice sound. And that's why we like these units. So the most sought after DA converters on these vintage machines is the TDA1541, which is what this one has. Also the Burr Brown DACs are also sought after. They just have a sound that is very, very pure and very smooth sounding. So anyway, that's about all I can show you on this one, because I thought I was going to have to take the mechanism apart to fix it, but I'm thinking it was just the lubricant there had dried up a bit, and just operating it a few times has got it working. So a little bit of lubricant on the back rails is about all these ones ever need for that. And say when they work great. Anyway, that's all I can show you on this one, because unfortunately it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to take the mechanism apart, but nope, just need to lubricate it. Thanks for watching. Bye.